Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And right now, I'm giving you guys a breaking news update on everything that's going on in crypto right now. So straight away, without further ado, Russia, Ukraine. Very big deal. Crypto prices are falling and it's going exactly as planned. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my second channel where I post trading videos. It is called 5 Minute Crypto. Check it out, a link will be down below. But we basically say, if we don't cross the $39.4 thousand barrier, we're gonna fall. If you didn't watch the video just quite yet of yesterday, go check it out right now. It's on the second channel. Check it out, and I'll do a video in terms of price on there most likely again today because, wow, this has been juicy. Having said that, the same thing applies for XRP right now. We did not find a base at about 70 cents, so we fall lower to the next level, which was about 63 cents. That's exactly where we're at right now. Having said that, things are really starting to pick up the pace. Russia, Ukraine. Putin may use cryptocurrency to bypass sanctions. Here's a full list of how Russia's attack is impacting crypto markets. Both crypto and traditional markets have been amid the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Over $500 million worth of crypto positions were liquidated during this very big dump. Gold is currently seeing more preference as a safe haven asset as people trust it more. S&P falling, everything falling basically, about 2% on most of these indices. And I believe the Russia stock market was actually falling so significantly much that they actually stopped trading it, which has been a very long time since that happened. So when I told you guys a couple of days ago that things are going down, things are going down. Things are really starting to go down right now. There's a couple of live feeds around the interwebs. Now, I'm not so sure exactly which one I can recommend you guys to, check yourself out with, nor can I say that this is something you really should be looking into because at the end of the day, you might want to stay blissfully ignorant, everybody there to each their own. Having said that, you can find them online. And as I've said before, there's a very high probability that all this stuff will have negative consequences for crypto on the short term. But articles like this make me question exactly what the motive is about all the crypto statements that were done just a couple of weeks prior. If you remember, about a week ago, Ukraine and Russia all of a sudden were going really rampant on crypto in a really positive manner. The learning comes from 2014 when the U.S. imposed sanctions on doing business with banks, oil, and gas developers of Russia after the latter invaded the Crimea area. And so right now they're thinking maybe Russia is going to use cryptocurrency to blunt the impact of sanctions through bypassing control points. It may also ink deals with anyone globally working with them via digital currencies. The learning comes after, again, the 2014 situation. That is something to really be on the lookout for. Why? Because I'm thinking, guys, and think with me here, that the Fed, or I should say Biden's executive order, might actually have something to do with this as well. They might actually take a look and say, hey, Russia can do this. We don't want to allow them to get that opportunity, basically. We're going to regulate crypto a little bit further, a little bit deeper, a little... Ooh, it looked like is my camera falling? Wait a minute, it looks like it. All right, for some reason the camera is not fully sharpening or focusing, but hey, it's a breaking news episode. We don't have enough time to do all that stuff. So I'm thinking maybe in the executive order, which can come out any one of these days, I'm thinking tomorrow or today it has to come out, right? There's no other options. That might be something even more negative that I'm thinking of. Most people I speak to right now turn really bearish. I'm still holding on like a strong boy. I don't really care at the end of the day. I have a lot of money staked. My stable coins are staked, which is generating money every single day. And we've had the Bitcoin short position open ever since $45,000. So we're still pretty good in that respect. But, and this is very important, very key, the rate hikes are also going to be very interesting parts. I would say the rate hikes are less necessary in times of, distress like this because the market kind of corrects itself. So you don't need the rate hikes. Russia, Ukraine, or torpedoes Bitcoin to the downside. Experts say Fed U-turn on rate hikes unlikely. Federal Reserve Chairman Chairman Putin announces cancellation of wait a minute, what? I thought it was Jerome Powell. Maybe they're... Okay, I'm a little bit confused about that. If I'm wrong, then I don't fully understand how the system works. Interesting. All right, so Federal Chairman Putin announces cancellation of March rate hike and extension to quantitative easing. Actor and producer Joe Heyman tweeted earlier Thursday after Russian President Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine. I don't want to say that too loud, but okay. Sent to 1 month lows under 35,000 and the S&P futures down by 730 base points or points. Heyman's somewhat sarcastic tweet calling Putin the chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, there we go, mirrors the current market sentiment. It's a quote. Yeah, okay, it's a quote. There we go. That's where I was like, Where traders are hoping the geopolitical uncertainty and asset market instability would force the U.S. central bank, headed by Jerome Powell, to abandon plans to unwind liquidity-boosting stimulus measures that might bode well for Bitcoin since the crypto has dropped 40% in the past 3 months, predominantly on Fed rate hike fears, which again, doesn't make a lot of sense. I can dive really deep into this article right here, but at the end of the day, the majority of the factors which we are seeing about right now, they don't really make sense for all this stuff to go down for the prices to go down. It doesn't make a lot of sense. We've shouted that out about 1,000 times by now. It just doesn't make logical sense. Gold is doing really well in times like this of distress. How is Bitcoin not doing that? It's a very good question. I would say a lot of it is fear. Then again, when we look at the articles, like for example, Mexico's article right here, they're going to accept Bitcoin. Bitcoin will more and more adoption. Like for example, Mexico here going to accept Bitcoin. They just said, guys, remember, all the stuff you're seeing here is FUD, is short term, is measures that will definitely move and jiggle the price a little bit, but will only actually jiggle out the short term holders or some traders who don't know what they're doing. At the end of the day, the majority of the people are not really affected by this for the longer term. If you look at your portfolio once a year, which I think is a difficult thing, an almost impossible task, but something which I think a lot of more senior investors might do, you're not even going to notice all the tension, all the trouble. As long as you have a sequential, basically, buying session, so you basically buy every single month, for example, and you just keep that up, does it really matter what the price is at? Not too much. And the same thing applies for if you're buying every single day, for example. If you are using a platform like Coinbase or Crypto.com, which allows you to buy every single day, if you buy $10 worth of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency every single day, I am pretty certain, and this is not financial advice, this is just my thoughts, that at the end of the day, you'll be better off than just trying to time the bottom. And I honestly believe as well that the majority of people who have active cash flow, who are not completely stuck inside this asset, will actually benefit from buying every single time rather than selling and trying to buy the bottom, purely because it's so hard to speculate where it is. And if you weren't selling the top, then the risks of selling now outweigh the potential benefits. And that's what I've said before. Right now, we're already about 60% lower or so from the all-time high. If you wanted to sell, you should have, I guess 50%-ish. You should have definitely done that at the top. If you didn't, I don't think that's a really big problem, but selling now at minus 50%, what's the best that can happen? It goes down another 50%. Wow. But the best that can happen is just going to shoot back upwards and you missed out on your opportunity. So I'm thinking selling now is definitely not worth it. Some people have said emotional-wise it might be a good idea to do so. I personally don't think so for me. I'd rather hold on and really die with my ship. Go like a freaking captain. I'm going to go down with my ship rather than try it out. However, the tensions are apparent. And in terms of price action, I'll let go of a video on my 5-minute crypto channel pretty soon here talking about exactly what I'm predicting. But as it currently stands, guys, I am saying be very careful. I have the shorts open still, as I was describing, since $45,000. And specifically yesterday, if we did not cross the $39.4 thousand mark, I was going to continue on with my short. If we did break with confirmation, I would open up a long. But again, we did not. And you can clearly see that right here. We did bounce from that, which is very interesting to basically watch right now. But again, to further on bring the story to you, be careful, be cautious, specifically in times like this, and understand that things can very well go down even further. It is something which we should be watching for, as these tensions are very serious. It's not a joke anymore. And so I'm just warning everybody that things can really take a really big stir. Really big stir. Again, the factors summed up, Fed rate hikes can definitely have some consequences. The fact that the executive order can definitely include some of these Russia using Bitcoin type of threads, which might again bring some heavy regulations or heavier insights, and that might be negative on the short term. Nothing will affect the long term negatively, I think, depending, of course, on what the consequences of all this stuff will be. I don't want to speculate too much on the WAR side, if you guys know what I mean. But depending on how heavy that gets, the crypto market might be affected relatively as well. Can it really be bad? Can it really be good? It can be both ways. We'll have to see. In my own opinion, the majority of things we're watching right now are all good. They should all be good. Yet things are being reflected negatively. And so I'm also saying right now, regardless of what happens, be careful for the downside, and a short is more warranted than a long as of this point. So that's my own thoughts. letting these out to y'all, and I'll see you again in another video pretty soon.